Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast.
Let's get it on, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Wednesday night. We're back on our regular time. My name's Tanner Dawson of the Sports Buffoons. Join with me. It's the return of Mike. Finally.
I'm back.
He's in some form of capacity. That's all we're asking for right now.
I'm still alive, I suppose, for now.
And we got JG across from me here, of course, returning. You guys remember what we talked about Friday night there, so glad to see him back in action. So, guys, great show lined up today. Of course, we're going to talk Chiefs. Of course, we're going to talk Hopkins and even more there. We got our easy money bets later in the show. On top of that, got a fun buffoon topic, guys. Got a fun buffoon topic that we might get some emotion in this, and it's going to be pretty hilarious. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow, and we'll get at it. Who is that, Hunter? Tan the man and the gain all back. That's right, baby.
Well, Tanner,
right,
I got to at least watch the show last
You did
last
get to
week
watch
from
the show,
bed.
man.
I got to lay in bed and watch the show. I've been fighting a big-time bug for the past 3 weeks.
I think it's multiple bugs for you.
It's probably been multiple different bugs over the course of 3 weeks, but we're working our way back. At least we're present.
Jason, you know what they
watching
call
it in
that?
bed was nice.
A gain bang is what they call that.
A gangbang?
Yeah, gain bang. Mike's been gain banged by all the bugs.
I'm actually, I don't know if you guys know
that.
this, dude, but my family convinced me to dress up like a bug for Halloween this year. So my wife and my daughter are going to be a couple of bees,
Okay.
a couple of bumblebees, and I'm supposed to be the beekeeper. So
Oh.
I have to wear the beekeeper mask and all that stuff, which made me extremely happy because now I feel like I'm wearing the hazmat suit in China, and I'm going to walk around with a syringe and just pretend to give people jabs the whole fucking night long on Halloween.
Guys, next Wednesday, we're a day before Halloween. Let's wear our costumes next Wednesday.
I like it.
You down?
That's true. Yeah, I didn't
Our
think about that.
Halloween show.
Yeah, okay, I'm cool with that.
Usually it's today, but we'll do our Halloween show next Wednesday.
Do you think that's okay if I walk around with a syringe and
Yeah.
just pretend to vaccinate people the whole night?
Go for it, dude.
I feel like I'm doing
It's
my
Halloween.
part. I feel like
No,
I'm helping
honestly,
the public.
It's Halloween. You can
It's
do
all
whatever
about
you
the
want.
public health at some point, right?
If you're trying to vaccinate people, that's pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie.
I love
So
it, man. I love it. It's a
You
great
should keep your
Halloween
syringe
costume.
to yourself.
All right. Calm down, boys. Hey, what are we drinking tonight, ladies and gentlemen?
Who cares, man? I'm already hammered.
That's
Well,
a usual night.
I was drinking lots of water before I got here, but now I'm gonna have a cut water,
Ooh, yeah, we
Ooh.
did.
a little
Okay.
margarita style. Oh, we both got one.
We're
Okay,
matching tonight, man.
both got one of those.
It's
Okay,
you
cool.
guys, twins.
Yeah, I figured I'd have something here while all the show's going on at least. And my son's played tonight, so
Yes.
I'll
Hey,
watch part of that.
opening week of NBA. I don't know if you guys caught any of the Frozen. What was it? The Frozen Frenzy last night or yesterday. It was every NHL team that played. So it's 16 games, all in one night from 5 on. Every NHL team played. They do it once a year.
Where they
I
just all
lost the
play at
leaves.
the same time.
They play throughout different times.
Oh.
But every team plays that night on the Frozen.
And that was
Frenzy.
last night.
That was last night.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I did make a bet thinking I was smart, everything looked right, lined up, but it ended up going the opposite way because why not?
I got my streaming service at home, obviously. I need to be watching an NHL, man.
Yeah, man, you got to tune in. Go follow Jim Behringer. So
Yeah, Jim's good. Shout out to Jim.
we love I appreciate you, Braden. Look at that, man. Look at that. Hunter and Braden, I love them. They got a fan club here. Best Penn State legends out there, guys. That's right. So, hey, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. Big news this morning as I was getting ready to start back at the gym. D-Hop dropped. DeAndre Hopkins being traded to the Chiefs for a 5th-round conditional. Could be a 4th-rounder in the end. I think, is it based on playing time or what do we know?
So the deal is right now it's a 5th-round pick. And if DeAndre Hopkins plays 60% of snaps and the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl, it becomes a 4th-round pick. So 2 different things need to happen. So basically, at the end of the day, we actually would want to give away our 4th-round pick because that means the Chiefs are in the bowl once again for that 3-peat. So the 4th-round pick is what we would prefer, as a matter
We
of
would
fact.
greatly prefer that 4th-round pick because that means we're back at it, guys. So big news, too. I mean, it's something we really needed. Rasheed Rice on the IR, a Hollywood Brown on the IR. Justin Watson's hurt. I heard he may miss this week as well. We're stuck with Sky Moore, Mecole Hardman. Justin Ross is possibly being promoted from the practice squad. We're waiting to see that. I think we'll probably see that tomorrow happen there. But I mean, the wide receiver crew, despite having no crew last week, Mahomes had two interceptions, one in the end zone as well. No touchdowns thrown, but he rushed very well. So and that might be part of the new game. We might see not Josh Allen style, because it won't be as aggressive, but we're gonna see him run probably still a lot more there in that game. But a lot more running plays are going to be called there. So D-Hop, guys, plain and simple. DeAndre Hopkins, do you love it? Do you not? And is it enough for this Chiefs team to go for a three-peat?
I would just like to say I found out first thing in the morning when I was on the toilet, and I was really excited about that.
Is that where you found out?
That's a great way to find out.
See, I was getting ready for assisted pull-ups.
So you were doing that. I was just waking up to get ready for work. It was like 6 a.m. is when I get up.
Well, the big question is, was it a normal toilet session or was it a JG dry heave session? That's what I really want to know.
Oh, well,
if you're dry heaving, then
this
that's
one
a problem,
was
bro.
very normal, but like it was almost like, how do I be excited at 6 a.m. on the toilet while reading Twitter and there's people in the house still? It's like, I gotta keep this to myself for now. And what I ended up doing was just got back in bed for another 10 minutes. And but anyways,
it's the way to do it.
It was one of those things where I spent last night, as a matter of fact, watching Cole from How About Those Chiefs on YouTube for about 2 hours straight. He was doing a live stream. Okay. And I also watched one of his other videos. I was just getting myself hyped up for Raider Week, and I haven't watched Cole for a long time, actually. And so I wanted to see what Cole was doing his live stream, talking with fans and everything, chatting. And a lot of the topics were about what receiver they're going to possibly go after or trade for. A lot of Cooper Kupp rumors last night. And then to wake up to see, boom, now we know who our guy is. DeAndre Hopkins was the guy I wanted from day one when it came to this situation. I know a lot of people out there wanted the Deontay Johnsons of the world or whatever.
Yeah,
I think
sure
the people who want Deontay Johnson have never watched Deontay Johnson play, as a matter of fact. That is a theory I have because I've heard a lot of people complain about that. Hopkins was my guy I wanted all along, other than the knee issue, obviously, is a concern. But the assumption at this point is that it's going to be okay, because why would you make a move for a player like that unless you felt 100% confident that the knee problem or the strain or whatever it was a few weeks ago is going to be an issue?
I mean, Devontae had a hamstring issue going to New York, and now he's healthy. So
yeah, well, sometimes there's the miracle cure, like Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yep.
Juju at one point had an injury. Well, he always is, but it came to the Chiefs, and all of a sudden it's like, okay,
I could play now.
Not injured, I'm fine. And he shows up and he's okay.
Yeah, so it's amazing what a trade does for some injuries. So in that health, but is it enough, Mike? Is it enough?
Absolutely, it's enough. And yeah, do we want more? Of course, we always want more. But with the way this team is structured, and we're focused on January.
Yes.
Hollywood Brown should be back in January. That is the plan right now. And the good thing is about his injury is it's a upper body injury.
Correct.
We're not worried about his legs or his knees or ankles or anything like that. Hollywood Brown's going to be back in January and ready to roll.
What you are worried about is it's the AC joint, right? The shoulder.
Yeah.
So you're worried about him falling on it. You're feeling and diving on it in the effort. So
can you give me 4 games? That's all.
There's some effort, man. There's some worry there with it, but I feel you.
No, it's enough. It replaces Rashee Rice, but it's in a different kind of capacity. He can't do the same things Rice was doing, but he can bring something a little different, which is route running in the intermediate level. Basically 10 to 15 yards downfield is where DeAndre Hopkins makes his bread and butter right there, is getting open on those deep dig routes, out routes, corner routes, slants on the inside, playing in the slot a lot like Rashee Rice has done. He's going to fill that role to a degree, but I wouldn't expect to see the screen passes to the capacity that Rice was doing before the injury. But he's going to come in and fit in nicely. The guy's a pro's pro. Hopkins has been one of my favorite players in the NFL since coming into the league in 2013. So I'm happy to have him as a Chief, and I'm curious what number he's going to pick out once he gets all settled in.
That is going to be true there. Jason, D-Hop coming in. He's finished over 1,000 yards receiving and outside of 4 years in his career since 2013. Do you love the move? You hate the move? Is it enough?
I don't think I love it or I hate it. I think it's just something that must be done. It's like whether you like it or you hate it, you just have to do it. And I think, Tanner, you and I talked about this last week. I think the debate was, and granted, this was before Juju got hurt, was like, we're kind of teetering here. Like, we could probably make this work, but I can make the case that it's really not going to work. And when you're going for a three-peat, you should probably just go all in and try to make it work. And so I think we were kind of leaning towards, even before the Juju injury, we got to bring somebody in. And I think I might have even made the case that you got to bring 2 guys in. And I'm still in that camp.
We talked about that.
If you want to know the truth, I'm still in that camp of bringing in a second guy.
We both were saying if we went 6-0, why bother? That's what we made the 49ers a game of the passing last week. That's what we exactly talked about. If we go 6-0, why bother?
And
but
I
that passing
understand
performance was horrendous. So we had to.
Well, the Chiefs won that game because of defense. They finally forced turnovers. Kareem Hunt was consistent.
Mahomes ran the ball.
But the thing is, the passing game was tough. And we had Samaje Perine playing slot receiver at different times in that game last week. You know, we cannot go into the rest of this season thinking that's going to work. It's not going to work. They needed to have a body at some point. And I will say this. There's a couple different ways we could actually improve addition by subtraction, in my opinion. That little turd, Sky Moore, it's time for him to get the hell off this roster.
Easy.
And,
take it easy on
he is a little turd.
Right?
He is a little turd.
Jeez.
And, you know, there's also, you know, on the practice squad right now, you know, you mentioned Justin Ross.
Yeah.
I'm willing to take the guy that I think's better than Sky Moore from the practice squad, Nico Remigio, and give him a shot and see what he can do, because I guarantee it's not going to be worse than what Sky Moore's provided to the offense. So, to me, if you want to have some extra receivers come in here, get some new bodies in place, bring up Justin Ross, maybe even bring up Nico as well, at least then you got some fresh guys that are hungry and want to have something to prove, and kind of go from there. But, you know, DeAndre Hopkins is going to obviously be the focal point now of the receiving game with Travis Kelce as well. But I think it's enough because of the way the offense is structured.
Yeah.
It's structured in a way to where it's designed to get the ball to everyone at different times of the game. And we don't need to have one superstar or 2 superstars take over, but we needed to have bodies. And we were running low, running thin in that last game, and that was what was worrisome to me.
And I don't think it's enough.
You don't.
As we stand, because you mentioned 6-0. 6-0 is not nearly as important to me as 3-0, which is something that we've never seen in the Super Bowl era, which is a team to win 3 Super Bowls consecutively. And so while I love the move, absolutely love it, you didn't really do anything. You just did what was required of you at the time. Like, they had to make that move. They had no other choice. Now I want to bring in another guy because 6-0 is not important to me, bro. What I care about is 3-0. I want to win 3 straight championships. And if one guy goes down, even if it's like Mecole Hardman, I don't even care. Noah Gray. If one guy goes down, now all of a sudden you got to replace him, and you can't replace him. And so I think they need to bring an extra guy in here. I think they need to go all in.
You want Beaches to go nuts and go grab Cup too while he's at it?
No, I do not.
You don't want that kind of. You don't want that kind of grab.
I want Darius Slayton. If you just want to throw a random name out there of a guy who is going to stay healthy, Cooper Kupp is trash. Deontay Johnson, that guy sucks. MVS, whatever name you want to throw out there. I don't want to overspend, right? Because you can't do that in the NFL. But at the same time, I don't want to go out and overspend for a bum like Cooper Kupp and just like break the bank for a guy who's going to get hurt in 3 weeks anyway. So I like the idea of a guy like Darius Slayton, just a guy that we can we need more bodies, man. It's just not enough. And so when the next guy gets injured, I want to have somebody there that can kind of prop us up a little bit so we can make that 3rd Super Bowl run.
That sounds fair, man. It sounds like we need to make another move in your mind. So with that, Pacheco is possibly coming back at the end of November as well, which will be nice.
And I think the temptation is to just say, well, okay, now we're looking at this same discussion a week from now when the Chiefs are 7-0.
Yeah.
And I think the temptation is just to say, okay, well, who really cares? Why do we need more bodies? We don't need shit. We're undefeated. We're 7-0. And I think you need to be more aggressive at that point. I don't want to get too complacent here because, you got to go out and earn. If you're going to win 3 Super Bowls in a row, You got to go out and earn it as a general manager, as a coach, as a player, what have you. I just don't want to get too complacent here.
I'd
just
rather,
because we got DeAndre.
As far as Pacheco goes, I'm hoping we can be really patient with him at this point because I'd rather him be fully 100% healthy in December, maybe get him rolling then, rather than try to feel like we need to get him back in November. Really, what we need to have happen is Clyde Edwards-Helaire to come back and make sure his mind is right. He could play again, take some carries off of Kareem Hunt. That way, he's not getting 25 carries a game, which honestly is not sustainable for anyone.
No.
And not in today's league anyway. And so hopefully we could get that involved back in this game and really take some pressure off a little bit.
See if Clyde
so that way,
gets active
when
here this
Pacheco
week,
does
hopefully.
come back, you want to have a healthy Kareem Hunt and a healthy Pacheco at the same time. And it's going to be a beautiful thing because if you guys have noticed about Kareem Hunt's, the play calling for Kareem Hunt since he got back is the Chiefs are running more duo, more power running style, more ups between the tackles kind of style running, which is what Kareem Hunt's great at because he's always going to be falling forward, picking up 3 to 4 yards at a time. Whereas with Pacheco, you see a little more of that outside zone kind of play calling, a little more stretch out to the edge, at least more than you see with Kareem Hunt anyway.
Correct.
And I want to be able to have both of those options at the same time healthy. And so I'm hoping that we can be a little more patient with Pacheco and wait till December to get him back involved.
And if we can do that, if we could just run the ball and play defense, like that's our third straight Super Bowl in a row right there. Like, and to your point, at that point, I think we can be a little bit light on receiver, but I just don't know what's going to happen in the end.
We'll see about Jalen Watson replacement of him and see how that goes.
Right. There's been talks about Newsom up in Cleveland, possibly trading for him. So there's possible we trade again, but this time for a corner.
I have heard the Chiefs are still interested in making maybe one more deal for someone else, but not necessarily a wide receiver. So
yeah, that's what I've heard too. Yeah,
there's a chance they're looking at somebody else, maybe another corner, but maybe an edge rusher. I don't know. I mean, I think the options are open right now, but I could see the Chiefs actually dipping into the defensive side of the ball for the next trade if they make one again.
I could too. Look, I think D-Hop was a great trade. I love seeing it. We should have had him before anyways, but the fact that we got him now and they're paying 50% of his salary, I love it. I love every minute of it. Is it enough? When you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, it's enough. It's enough. We're going to be just fine. We got Spags on the other side there of the ball. Taking care of business. Quite frankly, coach of the year in my book. So Scott out here says the Ravens are the only team that stands between the Chiefs and the Super Bowl. Well, they don't stand too far, maybe a toe, but that's about it. Scott also says D-Hop is that 5 to 7 yard out type of receiver and end zone receiver in the mold of Mike Evans in that vein. So exactly what you talked about, a mid.
That's what I wanted on this team. The reason why I wanted Hopkins to be our guy we traded for when the injury happened to Rashee Rice was because I wanted a guy that we could finally hit downfield a little more in the intermediate routes. And to me, that's what Hopkins provides. I don't really care about your yards after catch. Rashee Rice, having that ability was amazing. We don't need to, we're not going to be able to find, let's just plug and play, and Hopkins can be the yak guy that Rashee Rice was. That's not how this is going to work. This is going to be more of a downfield kind of an option now where we're having to throw the ball, a little further than the screen passes we were throwing to Rashee Rice before. So, I don't know. As far as like the team between the Chiefs and another Super Bowl,
it varies.
Remains to be seen, guys.
Yeah.
The Bills are going to give us a fight here in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to seeing that. Josh Allen still has 0 interceptions on this season,
yep,
which is amazing for him. So let's not forget about that and write
It's
him
positive regression for him.
And, the Ravens are the Ravens, but the Chiefs have the Ravens number and always have up to this point. Meanwhile, the Bills, they
always beat us in the regular season.
They found ways to beat the Chiefs over time. So let's not forget about the Bills. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, that's fair. Guys,
Other thing I'll throw out about DeAndre Hopkins just real quick is like, dude, he's only 32 years old. People are acting like he's totally washed.
He just had 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah,
with Will Levis
with
throwing
Will
a
Levis.
damn ball.
Like it
Half the
saddens
season.
me. It
Hopkins
saddens
is still
me
okay.
to say. It saddens me to say the last time he played with a superstar caliber quarterback was with Deshaun Watson.
In Houston.
Do you know how bad that sounds? And I'm not holding him accountable for what he's done on the Cardinals and the Titans. I mean, when you put him with Patrick Mahomes, I can make the case that he is still in the prime of his career. If he can get the offense down and step into that offense, I think like you might see prime DeAndre
I don't
Hopkins
need
right
him
now.
to be Calvin Johnson. I need him to be a guy that can get me 5 to 6 catches per game for 60 to 70 yards.
I just think he's going to be better
That's it.
than I think he's going to be better than we think,
Oh, I could see that happening too.
especially in the playoffs.
Starsky said some Bills love tonight. No, Starsky, stop. We're not.
It wasn't meant to be a
a
Bills
We're
love.
not
It
giving
was-
you any Bills love. We're just
No.
giving you what it is.
No, not this time.
Scott also says D-Hop is in the home with me and Keith right now. Tanner, so yeah, the senior home right now. No, D-Hop
The
ain't.
senior home. Okay.
D-Hop ain't in that home. D-Hop ain't in the home. All right, guys, let's get into the matchup here this week, because it's what week, Mike?
It is Raider week.
Raider
God damn
week.
it.
Let's go.
I would have done it with a growl, but that's going to cause a cough
that
to
would,
happen.
that would cause a lot of.
I'd rather not be coughing in the microphone while I
Do we still do that?
I'm glad
By
you
the
guys
way,
can
do
do
we
that.
still do that?
What?
Is that still a thing? Raider week, even though they're not in
Well,
Oakland.
It should be. I'm pretty sure they ruined my Christmas last year, so yeah.
And they did ruin your Christmas last year.
I was at that damn game.
Haven't lost a game since.
12-0 since then.
Yeah, don't go to a game. Looking here at the Chiefs Vegas injury report here for today. Currently, Dana did not practice once again. Pectoral injury, looking to be out probably again. Juju did not practice with a hamstring. Kareem Hunt was limited with the hip, and everybody else was full practice.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me is when Andy Reid made the announcement yesterday, it was right away. Juju with the hamstring immediately out for the week. And Mike Dana's battled some injuries already to this point in the season. I love Mike Dana. I'm hoping he can just get himself ready for when things really matter.
Yep.
But Juju being out that quickly tells me we're planning on probably 3 weeks
That's what
at
I'm
least
thinking.
of Juju sitting out.
That's what I'm thinking. We're looking here at the Raiders. Their backup tight end Harrison Bryant did not practice. Adam Butler for defensive tackle was limited. Eichenberg, Maga, and Myers were all limited. Colton Miller, the offensive tackle, did not practice.
What about Marcus Tuiasosopo? Is he going to play for the Raiders?
Tuiasosopo, I think he's on Jason's fantasy team right
Napoleon
Yeah,
Kaufman.
he is actually.
Is Napoleon Kaufman going to play this time?
now. I think they're saving him for the playoffs. So
Or,
I've got Tim. I have Tim Brown on my fantasy team right
Zach
now.
Crockett is going to play fullback.
Tim Brown is active.
Tim Brown is going to
he
blow
is
the Chiefs'
active.
ass right now.
Everybody else was full practice. Minshew and Crosby to be certain there on the full practice. So, and then what we know is isn't he expected to miss a few weeks, 2 or 3? Last I heard. I mean, not that I'm worried about it. But
But the thing is, Aiden O'Connell.
he's on injury reserve. Yeah, so,
He's the one we should all be fearing the most.
he's the one who beat us.
He's the one in the last Chiefs Raiders game threw for 0 yards the last 3 quarters of the games and still got the win. So that we can never let that one down, I suppose. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, though. What do you guys think about the idea, though? It's Raider week, and, I think we had it circled for a minute there to begin the season because of the training camp antics over there with the Raiders where they had the Kermit the Frog puppet.
Yep.
And, the 7th-round rookie cornerback is a total dumbass. I think he ended up getting cut anyway with grabbing the puppet and then mocking Mahomes and saying, "I'm a bitch." I'll do it with the Kermit Frog. And I think Mahomes, he doesn't actually care about this, but he's going to make himself care about this to where I think in this game in particular, we are favored by 10 points in this game on the spread. The Chiefs are going to want to put up 20 to 25 at least.
What did Mahomes say? It'll be taken care of.
It'll be taken care of when it's
It'll be
taken
taken
care of.
care
It's not a trap game. That's the
Well,
most
it's not-
important
it's not a
thing.
trap
Like,
game.
Like, if you think it's a
This-
trap game, you're so far
You
up
guys,
your
you
ass.
guys
you have
remember
no
the game
idea.
where the Chiefs, danced around, ring around the rosy
Yes.
before the snap?
Yes.
That might be every play call. This game. I have a feeling that the Chiefs are going to have something a little funny up their sleeve, and they might even call the play this time Kermit the Frog. I could see the Chiefs coming out there just because they like to mock their opponents.
They do.
Time. They play with their food. They mock their opponents. They like to be little assholes at times. And so I have a feeling the Chiefs have a little play call up their sleeve in this game.
And
It's gonna be special. I bet you Patrick Mahomes catches his first touchdown pass in this game.
He might.
Catches
I
his
mean,
first NFL touchdown pass.
when you're basically playing at home, which is
It's Arrowhead West.
in Las Vegas. I mean, it's a home game.
Yeah.
We
So
were
do
just
whatever the
there.
hell you want. I
You
mean,
know what?
you're going to introduce you're going to reintroduce DeAndre Hopkins to the world.
That reminds me, Hopkins has actually been known to throw the ball well as well. He's left-handed, I believe.
Isn't
but
that Noah Gray too? Noah Gray?
No Gray. What
He's
about,
throwing the ball too, right?
Noah Gray's thrown the ball before.
Yeah.
But no, I remember Hopkins particularly. I think in Arizona.
He's thrown it in Arizona.
He threw a pass
Yeah,
one time.
He did.
I got a feeling Mahomes catches a touchdown. That's
Well,
all.
and then you just had the interview with Tom Brady, and I don't think Tom Brady was ever successful in that feat. Like, he tried to catch passes, right? Did he?
He
finally
caught
do
one.
it?
He
I
caught a
think
touchdown.
He
He
did catch
caught
one.
Yeah, he got a
So
touchdown.
you just had the interview with Tom Brady, so that might be the thing that we need to prove to Tom Brady right now, that I'm just as good as you, or if not better.
I think Tom did catch one.
If
In
I
Tampa
know he
Bay.
failed.
He caught it in Tampa Bay. As a
Yeah,
matter of
that's
fact.
what it was. It was
I know he
Tampa.
It
failed
wasn't
a
that
lot
long
of
ago.
times.
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't low. It was one of his recent seasons. So
I remember that now.
I think you're onto something, Mike. I think you're. Maybe we should bet on. Can we bet on that? What are the odds of Mahomes catching
Catch
a
his
touchdown
First
pass?
ever
I
touchdown.
mean, it's gonna be an anytime touchdown for Mahomes.
Yeah.
So
That's not as fun, though.
yeah, there's not a specific bet, like prop bet out there that's gonna be
Okay.
catch a touchdown, unless DraftKings hears this and decides to put it up for us. So, but they won't.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, the Raiders falling apart, drama situation. No Devontae this time around, and Crosby's upset. It's
basically
a bunch of whining guys.
You got
Alexander
Gardner
Madison's-
Minshew. You got Gardner
I love
Minshew and a
Mustache
bunch of
Mania.
bums.
Mustache
But
Mania.
what does he got to work with?
Yes, nobody.
honestly?
He only has to throw to Bowers. You have Alexander Madison who took over the backfield.
Oh gosh.
It's Zamir White's a complete
That's ugly,
awful
dude.
guy, and I knew he was. Right?
Bring back.
I told you guys this.
Just bring back Josh McDaniels as a coach. I mean, at this point, that's how bad it's going to get.
I don't think it's. I mean, we could all blame Pierce all we want. I think it's the organization.
You want to do final scores now, or
I mean, we might as well. I don't think there's much to talk about.
it's going
This
to
game.
get bad?
No, I mean,
gonna get
obviously
horrific.
Crosby's someone to always pay attention to.
I mean, Crosby's going to get him a Mahomes face. We already know.
Yeah,
this.
sometimes he's a little cocky.
He's
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 a
gonna-
cocky bastard, but
He's going to chip it up. He's going to chirp it up. All right.
Cocky rat bastard. He's a cocky rat bastard.
I feel
You
good
heard
about
it
the-
here first.
I
bro.
feel good about the game. I mean, obviously, I feel good about the defense and them doing their parts. So that's what I really care about the most.
Let's get into it. What do
Yeah,
you got?
let's get it
What
over
do you got?
with,
Minus
man.
10. So it's minus 10 Chiefs at minus 103 on some books, and then over under 41 points. What do you got, Jason?
This is going to get ugly, man. I'm going 28-3. I believe in our defense. I believe in our offense because we're playing the Raiders. So this is going to get fucking ugly, man. 28-3.
What do you got, Mike?
Yeah, I like him to win this pretty easily. 34-10 is mine. So
That's basically the same thing.
it's going to be the Chiefs' version of a blowout, which we know we don't do. But so the Chiefs will blow out the Raiders, and the 10 points that they get, let's just say 7 of those will be in garbage time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm right there with you guys here. I think it's probably a 30-7 ball game. 30-7 ball game. It's this game has the feeling, the equivalent feeling of when we played Justin Fields and the Bears. It's the same type of feeling I
yeah.
have in this one.
Yeah,
Where-
the one from where T Swift's first game.
Yes. Oh yeah, that was T.
It was
Swift's
T
first
Swift's
game.
first game.
Look, I just don't see any hope for the Raiders in this one, and I just see it a big blowout. I mean, I don't care if Mahomes doesn't throw a touchdown pass. Like, they're gonna run the ball so effectively there. Mahomes will probably have another rushing touchdown.
I have a feeling Mahomes finally puts up some numbers in this game that
He should.
we haven't seen so far this season. So obviously 6 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions. I think he's going to end up with at least 9 by the end of that game. What I mean by 9, but
9
total,
and 9?
9 total touchdown passes to this point. So I think 3 touchdowns from
So
Mahomes.
he'll be 9-9 at the end of the game.
9 and 8.
9-8. Okay, no interceptions.
Nope.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
No, it's gonna be a blowout, guys. I mean, 3:30 game for us here in Kansas City. It's whatever. Let's move on. Let's get on there. So, not much more to talk about.
Let's move on, bro.
All right. So we talked about D-Hop. Oh wait, hold on. Starsky says, I think Mike is trying to sway my vote in the best Buffoons bets poll. You know what, Starsky? If you need to deal with a guy that only bets 2 bets for you and loses all his college bets, you go for it,
You
man.
talk about losing all my college bets.
You lost your college bets.
I'm 5-3 on the year.
Yeah, and 2 of those lost. 3 of those. 2 of
I'm
those
not
3
betting on college
are
this
college.
week.
I know. That's what I'm
or
saying.
last week.
You lose all your college bets.
Well, I just don't make college
If
bets
this
now.
You
guy,
did.
if he
No,
ever
that's
why
tries,
you don't do
I
it
did
anymore.
it one time.
if he ever tries to sway your vote, is towards the presidential election, which, by the way, if you guys aren't registered, please get registered to vote. I don't know who the candidates are, and I don't care, but I'm still going to show up and vote.
All right, I need
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry, there you go. I'll vote for him.
Oops, I hit the wrong button. Oh, man, you guys kill me. All right, let's get into our buffoon topic of the day before we get going. So, of course, and now
These
I
are
can't
from
find
San
it.
Diego.
Get registered to vote, people.
Reminds me of
2 weeks.
Anchorman, Whale's Vagina.
The Anchorman. There you go.
It's from
2
San
weeks. 2 weeks, boys.
Made in San Diego.
You guys ready to vote in 2 weeks? Who you going to vote for?
Yeah. What are you going to vote for?
Tom
too?
and Jerry. There we go.
I can't even find what I want
Tom and
anymore.
Jerry.
Why can't I
He's
find
hammered. He's
Oh,
hammered.
yeah. No, you
yeah,
guys
I
should
think you
check
and
it.
I
All
are
right.
going to have to take over.
All
He
right,
doesn't know
ladies
what
and gentlemen,
the-
I'll put it on the screen here for you at home in a minute here. I don't want these guys to see it just yet. But let me ask you this, Jason, or Mike. Not Jason. Mike.
I
want
got
Mike here.
Yeah, no, I got last week's bullshit.
No, Mike, this is the NBA history, right? And I'm just curious to know which of these numbers you would consider more of a GOAT in this aspect, okay?
Okay.
So we got one guy, 11-time All NBA, 14-time All-Star, 6 titles, 32,000 points, 6K rebounds, 5,000 assists, 28 triple-doubles, and he's 6-0 in the finals. Pretty damn good, I'd say, right?
Just say Michael Jordan. What are you
He
talking
sucks.
about?
I mean that's what it
No, he
sounds like.
sucks. I like LeBron
Now,
better.
what if I give you a guy that beat most of those stats? What if I give you an 11-time All-NBA, 13-time All-Star, 8 titles, 26,000 points, 8,000 rebounds, 6,000 assists, and 31 triple doubles, and he's 8-0 in the finals?
Okay. What's your question?
Who do you like better?
Who do I like better?
Which side do you like better? You like the 6-0 with the 14 All-Star with the 32,000 points, but less in rebounds, less in assists, less in triple doubles, less in tied with an All-NBA, but less in finals.
Ooh, 8-0.
8-0.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm
yeah,
interested in this. This is going to be a peon the last time
I
I,
have a
checked.
feeling-
Is he? Oh, peon?
It's a
no,
peon.
this is
Oh,
not
yeah.
Robert Horry style.
I got a feeling.
This is not a Robert Horry
You're
I'm gonna
style.
let him
missing-
answer that
You're
fucking
missing some
question.
context probably to these numbers, but
Ooh, I think
I mean,
know.
are we just supposed to look at the numbers and say, well, these numbers look better than those numbers? And
I
just
know
go
who
with
it
that?
is. I
Well,
know who it is.
what else
I'm
do
not
you
gonna
need?
tell.
Like, I'm giving you the points, I'm giving you the rebounds, I'm giving you assists, triple
What?
doubles.
Give me the points per
What
game.
about
What was the
steals?
points per game?
Oh my gosh.
Points per
I don't
game and
have the
steals,
points
Tanner.
per
Tell
game.
Mike the points per game.
And
This
the
is
steals.
very
What's
important.
the steals per game?
Oh my god, you
The
guys.
points is very important.
Yeah, so it's
20.8 points per game.
20. Okay.
20.8
20.8
on the second guy.
on the first on the
I
second
know
guy.
who it
second
is.
guy.
20.8
I know who it
on the
is.
second guy. So
And
the
the
first,
first guy-
is 27 or
Now-
30 something.
First guy
Can I-
had
31?
It depends on the year.
Can I
But-
give Mike
well,
a hint?
for a career, right? For a career.
Tanner, can I give Mike a hint?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to give you a hint, Mike. This is a guy who J.J. Redick, who is the current Lakers coach, described as he's a guy that played with plumbers and firemen.
30.1 points per game for the first guy.
Okay.
Yeah, the first guy, we already know who it is.
So it sounds like the first guy could be a better player.
Second guy played with plumbers and firemen. That's all you need to
Second
know.
guy played with plumbers and firemen. So,
According to J.J. Redick,
I
who
know.
is the
Well, I already know the first guy was better defensively.
he's a good coach, man.
All right, I'll let you guess. I'll let
Am I
you
supposed to
through
guess the
this.
player? That's
No,
how
no.
we're
I
doing?
just want you to know which ones. Who would you consider better? That's
Well,
all I'm looking
now
for.
that you told me points, because you gave me career stat numbers.
Yes.
But per game basis is what
I mean, if we're gonna dig into it, we can look at
what I'm
per
saying.
opponent, per basis.
I could tell you
competitive level.
Drew Brees has 70,000 passing yards, but you put it in context with something else, like make it make sense. Not just throw me a big old number.
So John Havlicek is who I'm talking about. It's a big thing going on Twitter right now. One of the most underrated players in history? Question mark. Jason.
The thing is, like these numbers, they don't mean anything unless you break it down to a per game basis.
I mean, we talk about the evolution of the game, right? Every time we talk, and we talk about MJ versus LeBron. Well, those are two different eras, two different types of games that we're seeing in the era, and now we're looking at possibly Havlicek, who's 8-0 in the finals.
Imagine if I told you Emmitt Smith is better than Barry Sanders.
Yeah,
Is that what this is?
is it?
You tell me.
Is it?
Is this Emmitt Smith against Barry Sanders because I know who's better, but I also know one guy has bigger numbers than the other.
Well, this is a guy who played in the, Jason's probably generation at this point. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm fucking 50 years old, man.
Right?
I watch these guys with my own
So Jason,
my own eyes, man. I watch these guys.
Give us a breakdown. I thought this was really interesting. I really want to hear your take on it. Like, we always talk about MJ being the GOAT, but are we talking about Havlicek maybe being in that conversation that we never talk about?
So here's my breakdown. I will always respect 8-0. But the fact that Havlicek was on the Celtics teams with Bill Russell back in the day and averaged 20 points per game, that's actually a little bit better argument than what I usually get, because a lot of people, and I had an argument with a gentleman at the bar earlier tonight who wanted to argue with me about players back in the day, that had all these stats and did everything, and then you're sitting there one day and you wake up one day and you've got Bill Russell, who has the greatest finals record in the history of the game. I believe it was he only lost once. So Bill Russell only lost one time in the history of basketball, and I think he had like 10 or 11 championships. And so John Havlicek, who you're talking about right now, Tanner, was on all of those teams.
Yeah.
And we all talk about that was a different game back then, and that's true, it was. But you also didn't have superstars back then. And so a lot of people would sit here and try to tell you, well, Bill Russell was better than Michael Jordan because he had more championships. Well, Bill Russell averaged 15 points a game. And I appreciate this argument that you just brought up, Tanner, because you are right. John Havlicek did actually average 20 points a game, and he had 8 championships and no losses. But guess what? Manu Ginobili of the Spurs won 5 rings, and he had the same points per game average as John Havlicek.
Really?
Does anybody ever think that Manu Ginobili is the greatest player of all time? No, they don't. And those are two different eras, in much the same way that nobody thinks that Havlicek is the greatest player of all time.
Manu Ginobili's 13.3 points per game.
Because not for a career. Not
yeah,
in the
for
finals,
a career.
Not in the finals. What did he average in the finals?
We didn't talk about finals point per
but
game.
But nobody thinks. So this is the weakest argument.
14.
This is the weakest argument I've ever heard in my life, is the fact that Bill Russell has the best finals record, and he won more championships than Jordan.
21.7
when
points
you
for
have
John
a guy, when you have a guy,
finals.
when you have a guy like Bill Russell, rest in peace, who averaged 15 points per game, you do not have the same impact as a guy like Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, James Harden. How much shit have we talked about James Harden? Russell Westbrook, who averaged a triple-double 2 years in his career. A guy like Bill Russell doesn't have the same impact as a guy like Allen Iverson, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. How many more names do you want me to throw out there? I don't have to. You know why? Because nobody cares. Because Bill Russell averaged 15 points per game. Now, he was an elite defensive player and an elite shot blocker. That's great. But he didn't have the same impact on the game. He was not a dominant player like a guy like Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant.
Different
all
eras,
these guys.
Man.
The era doesn't matter.
It
dude.
does, because
no.
look where you're playing at. The marketing isn't there. There isn't as much. There's no social media. It's all.
Let me show you how much of a pervert this guy is that's sitting across from me right now. This pervert right here is trying to make the case.
Here we go. Here we go.
John Havlicek is a better player than Michael Jordan.
I didn't say that.
No, you did.
I didn't say
no,
that.
No,
No, I did not say that.
You did say that.
I did not say that.
You put a random player with random numbers, and you said, who would you rather have?
I started a discussion.
Okay, Tanner. Well, I'll tell you
stats.
what. Let me tell you right now, you pervert. Let me just answer your question from a layman's perspective. I'll take John Havlicek.
You will.
Case closed. Case closed.
Now, why
because,
are you taking John Havlicek?
Case closed because you're so much smarter than me, and I really don't want to.
No.
Nobody, honestly. If you're a turd out there in the podcast sphere,
Every time we get in a matchup,
and you really
want to
hear
words in my mouth.
Do you want to
we gotta deal
really
with
hear
this.
this discussion right now? No, you don't. So I'm going to save you the trouble. Because I am not going to insult. Now, granted, this is coming from a person that enjoys. I do get enjoyment occasionally from. I do enjoy insulting people's intelligence. But it's very rare. That's my own personal problem. No human being is perfect in the world, but that's what I do for fun sometimes. But the people who listen to our show, nobody, and I promise you this, nobody wants me to insult their intelligence right now. So that's why we're not going to sit here and say that Jordan was a worse player than John Havlicek. But I appreciate your argument with the 8-0.
I just
Bullshit,
wanted to know
Tanner.
your thoughts, man.
I appreciate it.
He wanted to throw some bait out there.
I thought it was interesting. You throw the bait on
well, he
LeBron
did.
all
No,
the time, so I wanted to throw
what
some
I
bait
hate
at you.
about those
I
numbers,
do. I appreciate the bait.
like I just said, Tanner, you're showing me an Emmitt Smith stat that shows me he's got the most rushing yards and most rushing touchdowns of all time. That must mean he's the best. When we know that's not how this shit works. So
All right, well, how about you
why.
go miss the show again so I can talk to Jason?
maybe I'll get more sick. Who
Love
knows?
it, man. Hey, I love the fact that he brought that up because
I'm just trying to get rid of some
proved-
conversation. It's a big thing on social media all week long.
My favorite thing about this whole conversation is that we just proved scientifically, okay? I know a lot of you people out there like pharmaceuticals and all your bullshit. We just scientifically proved that Havlicek is a better player than Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So there's honestly, why would you ever listen to?
You could throw it on a commercial.
You would never listen to another podcast for the rest of your life. You would just turn everything off and
Tanner
just
could
be
hire
like,
Travis
hey, man,
Kelce.
These guys
to
are
be the
amazing.
spokesman, be on a
They're
commercial,
so much smarter than me.
have a Band-Aid on his shoulder.
They're so much smarter than me because Havlicek is the GOAT. And I should listen to these pieces of shits over here. Thank you for that, Tanner. I appreciate that.
All right, whatever. We're going to get as always. You caught what our buffoon topic was last week, right, Mike?
I did.
Do you have any input on that?
No,
What
but
you do in the
he had a
cloud
very
toilet? But he
elongated.
had a great
well,
answer,
his
though.
response was very.
It was very detailed, though.
Well, it was very drawn out.
detailed.
Well, I don't know if it was detailed.
It was detailed.
It was very drawn out.
By
it was
the
probably
way-
more
It's
drawn
detailed.
out than it needed to be.
By the way, I can't let this go. Shout out and RIP to the logo. Jerry West, who played against plumbers and firemen, okay? Don't forget that narrative, okay? We got to remember that. Because all those players back then sucked.
No, I figured you guys would have known. Not that I'm going to answer this, but your question from last week. What Mike would have done was just be proud of it.
You would.
I mean, I would have been like, guys, guess what the hell I just did?
By the way,
Your toilet's fucked.
Oscar Robertson is still alive. Go ask him, why did he suck so bad back in the day? That's a conversation I would
he's like a
why did you
cat
suck, bro?
trying to
Why
hide
did
the
you
evidence
suck?
somehow and distract. I'd walk out like a confident dog and just be like, fuck yeah, I did that.
No, I have to bend people. I enjoy bending people over. I can't let it go.
Now, I will say earlier, everybody, that's a work related. I can't bring this up. No, there was a toilet at work that was clogged. I almost left it, but I was like, wait a minute. I'm technically supposed to fix this.
Technically, it's your problem.
Technically, I have to fix this. So I guess I'll.
Technically, it's your
Yeah.
problem.
I grabbed a
yeah.
plunger.
No, I think
but-
I would have done that. I would have
Well-
done that, but you and I have two different
But that's
positions.
his job.
But I realized as I'm about to walk
Yeah,
out of the
we
room
have to,
and
yeah.
say, I'm going to leave it for somebody else. Wait, I am just somebody else. Okay.
Yeah, no, I would have done the same thing that you would have done, but you and I have different positions within our companies. So.
Yeah.
All right,
I
listen.
wanted to leave it, but whatever.
I know.
Anyways,
All right, ladies and
we can
gentlemen.
move on.
Let's get into our next segment here. We're looking good on time.
Let's talk about the NBA.
No,
Let's talk about
we
the
are not
NBA.
talking NBA. We're going straight into easy money bet of the week.
Some money.
It's time to get back into it, guys. Friday, we brought you some bets out there. I will say, before we get into the individual breakdowns, the Buffoons are 16, 12, and 1. We are at 57.14% winning percentage.
Guys, I've always said the goal was 60% as a group here. And so you're telling me we're 3% away from being 60?
We're less than 3% away.
From 60%, which is what we want as a group for this channel. So that's good to know, man. And we, over the years, this is our 4th year, have never been 60% as a group.
We've never been.
So let's all do our part. Do what we know best. So if you know college best this year, Tanner,
That's what I'm doing.
Guess what? I'm not stopping you. If I know NFL best, guess what? I'm going to pick NFL.
Hey, by the way,
Jason knows something best.
Dude, bro, I've been so shitty for a while now, but guess what? I had some positive regression at the casino the last 2 weeks.
Yes, you did.
So maybe I can translate that into the NFL and have some positive regression up you guys' asses.
All right. Let's get into the last week's breakdown, Friday's breakdown. JG with the only loss of the week at Pats +6. Pats ended up getting destroyed by Jacksonville in London.
I want to have a week, though, where we are able to parlay all of our picks and someone makes a ton of money on a parlay. Well, Starsky tends to do this. I don't know if he did it last week.
He needs to put $1,000 down.
Did he lost?
Oh wait, no, he didn't because he was out of town. So.
He needs to put at least $500 down.
But no. So JG had Pats +6. His only bet of the week, of the weekend, and he's now 1-6-1.
Ooh, that's not bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was. Shit.
I ain't gonna talk about that. Mike out here, he had Lions +1.5 and Eagles +3 or -3.5. Easy dubs. On this one here. He's now 5-3 individually. Myself went undefeated. I had Tigers -4. Thank God I put -4 and not what I actually had out there on bets. Army -16.5. They took care of business. UNLV ended up pulling out that -6.5. And the Washington Commanders, despite Daniels getting hurt, ended up covering that -8.5. So I went 4-0. So now I am now 10-5. In the easy money bets. My side bets for those that are tracking this as well, I am 4-2. So I did lose 2. Tulane ended up winning the game, but they looked awful for some reason on that game. And James Madison ended up lost to Georgia Southern for whatever reason. So KU -5, called that one. That was an easy dub. And Navy -16.5. We got 2 dubs there. So we are now 4-2. That's a 67% winning percentage since I've tracked my side bets. On this here, so and I do got more side bets for you this week. So, but as always, let's get started here. JG, we're kicking it off with you.
Yeah. So I'm just scrolling through these matchups right now.
I don't know if the audience wants to hear that.
Yeah, they do want to hear.
I don't know if that's what they want to hear.
Well,
for
they want to hear.
You
it.
are one pathetic loser.
They want to hear it, dude, because I'm a professional. What I give you right now is professional picks.
Okay.
And the best one I can give you right now is since the Patriots.
Oh God, don't.
The Patriots.
Don't do this.
I mean, they
they
ruined my ass last week, guys.
Don't do this.
The Patriots ruined my ass. Well, he knows what's coming. So the Patriots are at home, guys, and they ruined my ass. So guess what? Like a normal human being, I don't trust them anymore. I don't trust those guys. So I'm going to take the Jets, man, because they're only 2-5, and they have Aaron Rodgers, and he's a good quarterback. And then now he's got Devontae Adams. So give me the Jets I'm going to go Jets -7, dude.
-7 Jets.
Where do you see -7, dude?
-7 Jets.
Where do you see -7?
They're the favorite. They're the favorite on the road.
-7 Jets. Huh?
No, it was 7.5.
Well, maybe
it's the
he
same
found
thing,
it.
dude. It's the same fucking thing.
Maybe he found 7 somewhere.
No, there is. Okay, never mind.
It's right. It's 7.0. Can you not read? Just read my.
Oh, because it was minus. Okay, all right. I'll give you 7.
If you wait long enough, I'll change my answer because
I
nobody really trusts me on this show.
I at least do like that. If they win by exactly a touchdown and
It's a push.
then it's a push.
Then you're 1-6-2.
You don't lose.
It's Aaron Rodgers. I always bet. You guys know me. I always bet on my homie Aaron Rodgers to cover that.
All right,
spread.
you just got the one bet, right?
I got the one bet.
All right, Mike, you're up, dude.
All right, I got 2 once again this week, and I looked over the spreads and everything. And honestly, this week's pretty tough for me. This one's not one that I really cared for, taking a bet spread like I did the previous week or two. This time, I like the over-unders, though. I think there's a couple good options right here. The first one I want to start with is that Ravens and Browns, 44.5. I love the over in this game. And I want to point something out real quick. I mean, guys, Jameis Winston's going to be starting in this game. That is an upgrade
30
over
for 30,
Deshaun
baby.
Watson. I just want to let it be known that Winston with that offense is going to put up better numbers, better yardage, and Nick Chubb is looking like he's back full time. I think that they're going to do enough damage to be able to put up points, at least, something that Deshaun Watson-led Browns were struggling with. Meanwhile, of course, the Ravens are going to do Ravens. The Ravens offense, guys, is number 1 in the NFL. And, I think this is going to be easily a game. The Ravens go in there, put up at least 30. Browns can put up at least, 2 touchdowns and a field goal with Jameis Winston at the helm. And so for me, I'm loving the over 44.5 on this game. I just think there's a lot of firepower there to be unlocked, and I like Winston as the quarterback there to help propel that number up a little further. After that, guys, let's go ahead and go over to Las Vegas. We got Chiefs Raiders, 41.5, and I love the over on this game, primarily because of the fact that the Chiefs are not going to let up in this game. This is not going to be a game where the Chiefs go up there and get up by 2 touchdowns and say, okay, we're good for the day, like we happen to do a lot of times in the Andy Reid era. This is going to be a game where I think the Chiefs are going to prove a point, and they're going to go out there and do the damage. Hopkins probably is going to play, 20 snaps or so. They're going to have some packages in there for him. But I like Mahomes to go out there and do the dirty work at the end of the day, and whether it's with his feet or with his arm, I think he's going to be efficient. The Raiders' defense sucks. Their offense sucks. Chiefs are just going to handle business. And I like the Chiefs. As I said earlier, guys, my score for the game was 34-10, which is going to put this just over that 41.5. So both games I like on the over between Ravens-Browns and then Chiefs-Raiders. So both of those are my picks for the week.
I'm down. All right, guys, let's get into it here. We're going to go for our 4 easy money bets here for the week here for myself. That's right, 4 again. We're starting off with a Friday night game here. Louisville at Boston College. I don't know if you guys have followed Louisville at all, but they took Miami to the distance, ended up losing that game 45-52. But this is a team. They beat Virginia, who's only had 1 loss. They took it to SMU for a while. They took it to Notre Dame. Still lost those games. Louisville can put up points. Big points here going into play. Boston College has kind of had some injuries. They've kind of fallen off a lot. And quite frankly, to me, this is pretty easy. Should be a pretty easy game for Louisville to put up some points and win by a couple touchdowns. We're going to take Louisville -7.5 on Friday night, guys. That's our first easy money bet. Next easy money bet, we're going back to it, guys. We're going back down south. We're going Tulane at North Texas. North Texas, impressively, is a 5-2 record versus Tulane at 5-2. And Tulane had a struggle against Rice for most of the 3 quarters until they got to the 4th quarter. But North Texas hasn't played jack. And when they did, they played Texas Tech and they lost 21-66. North Texas is not a big offensive team. This is not a team that Tulane should struggle against. And the fact that the line is where it's at is why I love it so much. We're going Tulane -7.5 as well for our game 2. I love that part. Now, this next game, guys, I told you this about a month ago that this game was coming up, and I would be having this on my easy money bet as long as they were undefeated entering this game. Do you remember what that game was? Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Notre Dame at Navy, baby. Navy +13. Navy has been dominant. They've been killing everybody. They've covered 16-point spreads, 22-point spreads, and I think a 24 one. And they're just dominating. Notre Dame is entering a trap right now in the Navy. Navy is out here trying to go for a bowl game. They're trying to play twice for Army this year to get that conference championship. And quite frankly, to me, Notre Dame has been dominant. Yes, I agree they've been dominant. But they played Stanford, who's dog shit. Georgia Tech, he had their quarterback hurt last week. Louisville, they struggled against. And I think the other team they lost is Northern Iowa, Northern Illinois, somebody like that. I don't care. Give me Navy +13. I got them at +14 when they dropped, but Navy +13 going into the weekend against Notre Dame. Hell, they might even win the freaking game because I think they're that good. So we're going Navy +13, the easy money bets. Now, let's get to an NFL slate because you guys love the NFL slate as well. I've got good last week against with Washington -8.5. So this week here, we're going back at it. We're going against a team that's injured. There's no Mike Evans. There's no Chris Godwin. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going Falcons -2.5. -2.5 at this one here. I think Tampa Bay's in for a little down slump, missing their top 2 receivers, and they don't really have it. They're kind of like the Chiefs. They don't really have anybody after the top 2.
Trey Tucker and Sterling Shepard.
Yeah,
are
Sterling
their top
Shepard's there. That's
receivers
right.
at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Which for the Chiefs' sake, we play them in 2 weeks, and that might be brutal.
That might be a
Those
blowout
guys.
too.
They need to bring back OBJ, man. Just load it up.
He's not
man.
even playing.
No, I know he's not, but they should bring back
Well,
OBJ.
they need to be trading for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, at this
Time
point.
to get Cooper Kupp if you're the Buccaneers.
Get a bunch of injured bums all over the same team.
Go Kirk Cousins, go Bijan, and then that range, go -2.5 Falcons. So
By the way, I felt horrible. I was watching that game, that Buccaneers game.
yeah,
And Evans went out early with the hamstring. Whatever.
Which-
we already knew that was a
which we
thing.
knew was
But
gonna
then
come.
Godwin, which Godwin's one of my favorite receivers in the
Oh,
NFL, you
gosh.
guys.
The
And you've known
ankle.
that. You've heard me when they say good things about Chris Godwin
that ankle
over the years. And then Roquan Smith, that dirty piece of shit, goes over there and gives him. I don't care what the NFL is investigating this tackle, by the way, but it looked a little dirty to
the
me.
hip drop
the way
style.
the way he let his body weight fall into the legs of Godwin is what the NFL tried to eliminate with the hip drop tackle. This was like a lion jumping onto someone, but then following through with the body onto the legs. Anyways, that's why the ankle got dislocated, but it looks pretty brutal to me.
That was
Anyways,
Bounty Gate. It's Bounty Gate.
I was
dude,
enjoying
all over again.
watching the Buccaneers up to this point because I'm just a fan of the way Mayfield has fit in, and I'm a big Mike Evans fan and Godwin fan, so seeing those guys out for a while definitely sucks.
Yeah, it's rough there. We'll hit up our 4 side bets here for the finish out the slate here. Virginia -4. I love that matchup here. We got them going against North Carolina. North Carolina is not good this year. Virginia's actually been pretty impressive. They've had two losses, but they're against good teams. So give me Virginia -4.5 at home this week. I got so it's Texas Vandy. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, that Vandy beat Alabama a couple weeks ago, right? Oh, yeah. They walked 3 miles to the river to put the pole in. Look, now they got Texas, who struggled against Georgia. Who did Alabama play the week before? Georgia. Who did Texas play the week before Vandy? At Vandy? Georgia. Give me a repeat. Give me +18.5 for Vandy. At Vandy? I don't mind this one at all. I don't think Texas is playing great ball in any word outside against Oklahoma. Because
They don't even know who the quarterback is.
It's
point,
Ewers.
right?
It's Ewers.
Well, it's yours, but then they're like, "Oh, let's try Arch Manning," and then let's go back to Ewers.
Well, they went back to Manning because Ewers couldn't freaking figure out how to pass the ball or do anything. So, but they already came out. Ewers is starting for Texas, so that's what we know. But yeah, give me +18.5 against this Texas team. I'm riding this Vandy train while we're at it, guys. And then next up here, of course, we're going at it because why not? Both 6-1 teams. Both teams are playing really well, and I've bet on these guys multiple times as well on both sides for Duke and SMU. So give me SMU -11.5. I think they win by a couple touchdowns. Big point, guys. Duke's quarterback or running back, one of the guys are coming back this week, should be. But there's that. And then the game that starts at 12 a.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m.
11 a.m.
Central Time, p.m.
11 p.m.
p.m.
Oh.
on Saturday night, guys.
Are you serious? 11?
Nevada at Hawaii.
Oh shit!
We're going.
they're in
we're
Hawaii.
taking it, guys. We're taking it here. We're taking it big on my side bet. We're going -1 Nevada. I love Nevada in this matchup. Hawaii's awful. Nevada's
that game won't end until 2:30 in the morning.
I know.
Yeah,
It's awful, man. Like if you're,
I won't be watching that.
If you're East Coast, this is a game you just bet and go to sleep, and just hope for the best.
I'm just not even gonna bet that game. You can bet.
I'm
up
betting.
for this,
I already put it in. I already put in -2.5. So, look, Nevada and Hawaii, neither team are spectacular, but at least Nevada's able to put up points. Hawaii out here, it's just it ain't the Ricky Stanza days, man. I tell you, Ricky Stanzi.
Ricky Stanzi.
Yeah,
Nevada.
remember those days?
Stanzi played at Iowa.
I thought he played. Was that Iowa? Who am I thinking of? The Hawaii guy.
Oh, Colt Brennan.
Yeah, Cole Brennan. There you go.
Well, he died.
Here's the thing
Yeah,
about
he
he
did
was addicted to.
But that's what I
cocaine
got
and-
for side bets.
Here's the thing
in my
about
ranks.
Nevada, guys. Nevada is a swing state. It's getting ready to vote for
Oh,
Kamala
Jesus.
Harris. So they're going to be excited in that game.
Nick Claxton ejected.
Nevada?
Oh yeah,
They're going to vote for
Kamala Harris. She's going to win that fucking state. And
They're
players are
voting
getting
now.
excited.
You could vote right now if you want.
You can vote right now.
All right.
Get registered to vote.
Your easy money bets for Week 8 in the NFL is going to be New York Jets -7 by Jason. Ravens Browns over 44.5. KC Las Vegas over 41 for Mike. And then I have Louisville -7.5, Tulane -7.5, Navy +13, Falcons -2.5 as our easy money bets entering this weekend. So let's get at it, guys.
How many bets did you have today, Tanner?
4. Well, I had 4 for the easy.
I wouldn't parlay 7.
That's crazy.
I had 4
bro.
last week, and I won all of them. So
I know, which is great, but
Stop doing all those bets, dude.
Shut up.
Starsky, I would just pick.
Shut up.
Go win a bet for once.
Pick one.
I
of
bet
each.
you get more than one win.
Why don't you just shut up?
I bet you get more than one win.
It is week 7, right?
Let him be quiet. Let him be quiet, and I'll start my crypto segment, and then we'll get it over with.
We've done 6 weeks of this, and he only has 1 win.
I'm aware.
So shut up. Don't talk to me till you get 2 wins.
Probably because he picks him live on the show.
Not only do I only
My team
have
I
one
bet
win,
against
dude.
was you passed last week. Now I'm gonna bet the Jets this week.
Dude, let me tell you how bad it is. Not only do I just have 1 win on the season, I actually lost you guys money last week on the show when I told you about my easy money crypto bet of the week, which I'm going to put more money into it right now, dude. We got you guys in at $5.16 last week at Axie Infinity. Now it's down to $5.05.
Yeah,
so can you take a guess what the JG is going to do right now?
Well, you got to cost average. You got to get your average down.
Dollar cost average, exactly. So I'm going to put another $100 into Axie Infinity, and we're good here.
And he's loading up on the crypto.
So,
All right, guys.
The great part is I'm really glad about this.
You're going to make money.
When Kamala wins the election, she's pro-crypto, so she's going to help get all that pumped for you.
It doesn't matter who wins the election. That's the nice thing about crypto. It's going to pump no matter what, but the thing of it is right before the election, everybody's panicking and all this bullshit. You can get it so incredibly cheap because before the election, nobody gives a shit about crypto. They're scared shitless. So right now is a time where you want to buy, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I got you guys in at $200 Axie Infinity. What was it? $5.16, and we just threw in another $100 at $5.05. That is my easy money crypto bet of the week.
Tanner, I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking at the maps for the NFL games this week, and most of the country gets to see Chiefs versus Raiders, but there is this little part of Kentucky that somehow misses. If you look at my graph over here, we have all this blue, which is Chiefs Raiders. All this blue is Chiefs Raiders, and the red.
Are they watching the Colts?
But then right here is in Kentucky. It just doesn't want to touch. It's just like
doesn't. No.
Imagine being in that gap.
No, that's the Trump voters, dude. Don't worry about that.
Starsky commented. He asked, "What's my win percentage if I bet against Jason's bet each week?" Well, if you bet
83?
everything but Jason's bets, like you bet mine and Mike's, you were at a 72% winning.
Basically, guys,
percentage.
If you bet against me, you will do the exact same thing that you would have done had you bet against Tanner last year on college football. You guys would have you would have won 90% of your bets last year if you would have bet against Tanner. And that's kind of the swing that's going on right now. We've got the pendulum is swinging. And so now you should probably bet against the JG.
But you guys can do that all day.
I didn't have one win, by the way, at this point. I had multiple wins, so.
No, you didn't have
for the record out there,
I did
every single season of this podcast, I've been over 50% on my bets.
Yeah, we know this.
Just
shit.
so you guys know, I don't have these emotional swings like you guys.
All right, let's.
That's true.
On our way out here,
I do get emotional from time.
On our
to
way
time,
out, before I hit this, before I hit the outro button, Jason, Celtics for real, 29 for 61, 3 points, 50.5% field goal percentage last week with the big win against the Knicks. 132-109. Celtics repeating.
So this is a buy or sell segment, Mike, because we want you in on this shit.
No. You got like 2 minutes.
No, we're going to sell on this, okay? And I know Mike wants to talk about this, so
No,
they're just.
I want to watch the Suns
We're-
game.
we're-
It's on.
we're 23 minutes
would
late.
you
The Suns
please
are on right
just
now.
be okay. Now we're starting over because you couldn't shut your mouth. So we're starting over on time. So the Celtics just hung their 18th banner, and they got their rings. I am going to sell a repeat because we haven't seen a repeat in the NBA since the Golden State Warriors. So it's not an easy thing to do in the NBA or any other sport for that matter. So I'm going to sell Boston getting the repeat. I do believe that they are going to win another championship with that tandem of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's going to happen. You can take it to the bank, but it's probably not going to happen this year. So I'm going to sell the repeat.
I'm buying, dude. I'm buying.
No, keep your mouth shut. I'm not done.
Buying.
So I'm buying a Western Conference win, okay? So whoever it is, a lot of people think Timberwolves. I'm going with the
Lakers.
Oklahoma City Thunder, bro. Oklahoma City Thunder are going to take this shit to the house this year. And SGA is going to win the league MVP. So definitely selling the Boston Celtics. They're getting another ring, but it's not going to happen this year.
They're repeating, dude. That's all I know.
Give me your take.
That's all I know.
No, I yield my time, Senator. I yield my time. He's got 30 seconds left. You gave me 2 minutes.
I'm going to sell because the odds of repeating are low for any team for that matter. I thought Denver was going to
Phoenix?
No, I thought Denver was going to repeat last year, and then they didn't. So
We thought the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks,
Right,
we
so-
thought they were going to repeat.
So for
back
me,
in the
I'm
day.
selling on the idea of a repeat because it's the NBA and things happen, and every year is a different year, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, throw it in the comments what you think the Celtics will do this year. Are they going to repeat? Are they going to hand another banner next year come opening day, or are you guys going to agree with these two? So
Time to watch KD.
That's what
I'm
I want.
watching him right now, man.
all right, ladies and
Devin
gentlemen,
Booker.
make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow. Drop in your comments what your easy money bets are as well. We want to know what you guys are thinking out there as well. So we'll catch you next week, right? Halloween show?
That's right. Let's do a Halloween show.
Halloween
next week.
show, baby. Wear your costumes. It's going to be fun.
Hopefully I can talk better.
By the way, it's Kitty Cat Week. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
That reminds me.
Let's go.
I'll be watching that joke of a game. Oh my god.
Joke of a game. They're going to cover 10 and a
K-State's
half.
going to destroy those asses.
No, they ain't. They ain't going to touch us, dude. We're going to win this time.
You're going to
Mike.
have Avery's Johnson.
We're going to
up
win
your
this
ass.
time.
Ooh, I
Rod
like that.
Chalk, baby.
You taking us to promised land on this show?
Rod Chalk, baby. We'll catch you next week.
See you guys on the
I'll see you guys on the next one.
outro.
See you guys, Rod Chalk.